Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Collectors with Cards, drinking coffee. This is body armor today, not coffee. A little mixture of nutrients and
Mine too.
perfect. Um, well, I skipped out last week of the podcast here because I was traveling and couldn't get things working. And my guest here, thankfully, was able to reschedule. Is someone that I've been in contact with since I think 2017. Um,
Yeah,
he's
2017, yes.
got a very unique story. He owns a store in Japan. He speaks too many languages, and he's just overall a great guy and a great collector. We have June, also known as SM Black, also known as the Black MacGyver. how, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. So like you said, my name is June, also known as Jean-Luc, aka SM Black, and aka the Black Iver. So yeah, all these nicknames are from specific situations. People who knows they knows basically.
Yeah, yeah. Now
So
we
yeah,
Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead. Yeah, I was gonna say we met in at Worlds in
in worlds.
2017 at Anaheim.
Yes,
I brought a box of Japanese sealed packs, and I think I was we were there hanging out with the E4 guys. I think you had like
exactly.
a table, right? Did you have a booth or a table there or something?
No, I didn't have a booth or a table like most of the Japanese people. Like you just
They just lay everything
open
out.
your suitcase and you just doing your thing.
hmm And you came over and just started answering, like asking me questions, like how'd you get so much of this? Like where did this come from? Like, I
Mhm.
and I didn't know you at that time, and we were just talking, and you mentioned you had a store in Japan. I was like, whoa, what are you doing here? Like, why are you coming? If you're in Japan, why do you come to Worlds? That's a heck of a trip. Um,
Mm.
so tell us a little bit about yourself with Pokemon. I guess like how long have you been collecting?
Oh,
Let's go way back to,
whew.
to your childhood. Where did you grow up?
So that's a long story. Like we talking about things like wow. Most of the people won't believe, but I actually grew up in Germany.
Okay.
So I grew up in
Deutschland.
Germany. I arrived in Germany. I was like six, six-ish,
Okay.
and I had a great time there with my family. I have German family actually. So
Hmm.
a part of my family are Germans. So that's one of the reasons why we actually moved to Germany and have those settled there. So I remember when I was a kid, and that was there was this boom of Pokemon, and I don't know, but like for me, it was really different. I was like, wow, Pokemon, what is this? And I was really kind of not just attracted, like I felt something special about it. But like most of the people, it was hard to buy a booster box or even a pack.
Hmm.
So I was trading the cards people gave me, or the leftover base first editions and German unlimited and all the things. And I remember that was really really great times.
Hmm.
So this is where really I grew up, and then later on with my degree and my passion for languages, I moved to Japan basically.
Okay.
So
So
I started
yeah,
collecting.
when you started with base set with German
Yes,
base set with
well, yes, I started with German basically, but I wasn't collecting at that time.
okay. You were
I
just
really just enjoyed just playing. Like the rule, there wasn't actually a rule.
yeah. I still don't know the actual rules. I like to play my own way. So did
So
you? I mean, you were playing the video game? Were you watching the TV show, or was it?
So yeah, so what happened is I was watching a lot of TV show as I stopped to play with the cards, and then later on in 2000 when Pokemon Crystal
Hmm.
came out, I worked. I remember very good. I worked the whole summer for 1 month and a half to get money,
Hmm.
And my grandma was like, do you need a little bit of money? I was like, yeah, if you can give me a little bit. And I was ready to do whatever it takes to get my money. And I remember the first Game Boy Color I bought myself with my own money. That was
Mhm.
the holy grail for me at that time. That was with Pokemon Crystal. And I played the game like whole through, like the game was everything for me.
Mhm.
And from that point, I came slowly back to trading card and start to collect.
Okay, very cool. Yes, silver version for me was like the peak. I had so much fun playing that game. I was so involved,
Exactly.
so engaged. Um, but I never collected or bought the Neo cards as a kid, which didn't really make sense. I don't
Me
understand.
neither.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't. But so growing up in Germany, you're buying the glue rocks and the Turtox, um,
Exactly.
and so you got back into it pretty quick. I mean, would you kind of like consider yourself like as a nerd back in the day? Were you really
Oh yeah,
involved?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
were you playing
Really,
other
I
other card
was.
games?
Oh yeah, yeah. I was really a big nerd. I was a lot into Yu-Gi-Oh also,
Okay.
and actually Yu-Gi-Oh brought me back into trading cards
Ah.
because I remember in 2008, one of my friends called me. It's like, "Oh, so like you remember Yu-Gi-Oh and everything?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah. What's going on?" It's like, "Oh, there's actually tournament, world championship, blah blah blah." I was like, "What the fuck you talking about? Like, what is this?" And I went to his house, explained me everything. I was like, "Yeah, this is bullshit. Like, there's no way this world championship about Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Like, really?" I didn't believe it, and he told me, "Yeah, actually for Pokemon too." And then at that time, I was actually in Paris
Mm,
for my college, so I was learning language and culture, Japanese and English. And so I started to collect. I mean, I started not really to collect, to play Yu-Gi-Oh. And then I encountered a big company here in France, actually, who is one of the biggest distributor in Yu-Gi-Oh.
mm,
And one of the manager from of the company just called me one day. It's like, I see you often in events and everything, and I heard that you speak a little bit Japanese. And I was like, yeah, yeah, I like the language. I just start, and everything. And he's like, oh, okay, okay, what are you doing? Nothing. And he's like, okay, well, if you're interested, we have a job for you. I was like, really? What is it? And that really brought me back into collecting Yu-Gi-Oh. And then a couple years, like 3 years later, I started really to collect Pokemon, like really hardcore.
okay. Wow. So you got in kind of in the corporate world, I guess, with cards, which is pretty
Exactly.
cool. Um,
Exactly.
so did you also kind of have like did you start building a side business to build your collection like we all did, buying and selling, of course? Were you doing that at all
Well,
or?
yes. Most of the time, I was like all the overlap the company gave me, I was using a part to sell to live on it
Hmm.
because I didn't have a another job,
Mm,
and what they pay me wasn't enough to live off of it because people don't realize it, but Paris is a very expensive city.
mm,
So I was selling a part of what they gave me to feed myself, and then the other part I use it to buy things I like
mm.
and I want to collect.
Okay. So yeah, I
And
mean,
then slowly
what was like
I grew up.
what was like the first thing that you started collecting then? Did you go back to collecting German base set because that was what your childhood was,
Well,
or?
actually, the one of the things I wanted really to buy was a base first edition glue rack at that moment. But I was like, it's kind of expensive. Why
Mhm.
should I do it? And then one day, I found someone who has a base German Glumanda. So is a Charmander
Mm.
first edition PSA 10. I was like, nah, I have to buy this one.
So,
So
so
that
that's
was one of the first thing. Hmm?
so one of the first things you bought was a PSA card.
Yes,
That's pretty
I mean,
early
like
on.
really,
Like collect.
that was one of my biggest purchase because like the German language. I lived in Germany for 12 years.
Okay.
So when I saw that that first edition Glumanda, I was like this is one of the things I have to buy.
Hmm.
And why did I buy the PSA 10? So I heard a lot about PSA already at that time, why grading is important and all these things. And I was like, this is something later on I want to display
Mm.
when I have my own apartment, my own house. This is something really remembers me back in the day,
Hmm.
and it was really something important for me to purchase that. So it's one that was one of my first big purchases.
Okay. Yeah. No, I can't think. I mean, when was that though? To buying a PSA card, that had to be pretty early on.
Oh no, no. The PSA card I bought it like um in 2016
Okay. Okay.
actually.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Okay. So, well, that's still. I mean, for me, I had like kind of just found Pokemon again in 2015, 16. So I wasn't
mm,
really grading a lot, or very much at all, or even interested in buying graded cards. I was in that process of buying packs and opening them for fun, for nostalgia,
mm,
and just like
mm,
making binder sets and all that. Because that's where like my
mm,
collection lies, is just in binder sets. I don't
mm,
I don't really have too many PSA cards that I consider to be part of my personal collection. Um,
mm.
so as you were going through college there in Paris, um, at what point? I mean, so you were working for that distributor, and then you were kind of
Yes,
buying and selling on the side. Um,
yes.
During that time, uh, I mean, with your interest in the Japanese language and probably the culture,
Mm.
when did you start to learn about like the history of Pokemon, in Japanese cards, like the trophy cards and all that stuff?
I started like in 2013
Okay.
because in 2012 I went to Japan for 3 months.
Hmm.
I took all my savings. I went to Japan for 3 months.
That's
Like really, that was really one of the hell of a trip.
what was that? Was that? I mean, was that tied in with like a school trip or something, and then you just extended it, or
No,
you
no,
just
no,
want you just went?
no. I just went straight.
What was your plan? Did you find a?
I had no plan. I had no plan. I just no plan. Like let's go there and let's see what we can do.
Wow. So what did you do?
And so I spent my first month going to Akihabara, all this shops and everything. That was the first month. It was very very amazing. The second month, I went to visit people I knew
Hmm.
from other events, people I talked with before, people with who I already make some deals before to know where the location, what they're really doing in their lives, if they still are in the card games or not, and all the things. And the third month, I started to thinking if I want to live in Japan in for a long period.
Hmm.
So I start to look for um, how to get into it,
Hmm.
like what the process to get a visa. If I get a visa, how long will stay, and how to extend the visa, and what the opportunities for foreigners to live in Japan. What are the duties and things foreigners should know before going to I mean before to live in Japan, all that things. So the third month was really a construction about my future life in Japan. So is what I did, and then I came back to France for like 7 months, and after that I went straight to Japan and stayed there until recently, basically.
Wow. Okay. Um, yeah, I know. I've heard it's quite difficult to as a foreigner to live in Japan, or like to go through that process. It's pretty
Oh yeah, yeah, it's,
pretty
it's really
arduous.
complicated.
Yeah.
I think for most of the countries out in the world, like there's one rule for everyone.
Mm.
But in Japan, it's different. Like there is the rule for Japanese people, and there's the rule for foreign people.
Mm.
Foreign people, non-Japanese people, basically.
Right. Right. Okay. That's
So
interesting.
there is really really these things people don't understand is being non-Japanese is me. You do not have the Japanese citizenship.
Hmm.
It's very, very important to know that this point, having not being a Japanese citizen changed a lot of things
Mm,
in how people see you, how people talk to you, and even how you do business with people.
really? Isn't like the only
Yeah.
way for a non-Japanese person to get citizenship is it even possible? Is it you have to do it through marriage,
Well,
through like
well, it is almost impossible to get a Japanese citizenship.
mhm.
So there is actually a couple people who succeed to have the Japanese citizenship, but they call it new Japanese citizen.
Okay. So
So
it's
you
never
can't
the
really,
same it's never on that same level.
yes. And
Okay.
also, in case you wanted to, like, you have everything to apply for the Japanese citizenship, you have to change your name
Oh,
to Japanese name.
wow. What would you change your name to? Have you thought of it?
Well, I guess I won't change my name.
Yeah.
I think it would be really difficult for my parents to,
Yeah, that would be
like, yeah, it would be really too difficult for my parents to deal with. So I don't want to bother them for that.
out of respect to the name.
Yeah,
You gotta
yeah,
keep
to the name. Yeah.
it. All right, that's cool. So you were connecting with all these people that you were going to events with. I mean, was that Pokemon events, Yu-Gi-Oh events? Um,
So, well, yeah, at the first Yu-Gi-Oh event a lot. Like I did so many Yu-Gi-Oh regionals or world champion since like 2010. I did all the Yu-Gi-Oh regionals. I'm mostly in Europe or YCSs is like really, really big events.
mhm.
YCSs, World Championships until 2013. I was most of the events I went there,
Okay. Were you any
and
good?
I was no, I wasn't playing
Oh,
actually.
you
I,
weren't?
I
Okay.
was no, no, no. I was trading like
Okay.
really. I was trading, buying, selling
Hmm.
Yu-Gi-Oh cards
Okay.
like in ever before. And I think I really started to buy expensive cards when I went to Japan. Like when I started to live in Japan
Hmm.
in 2013.
Okay. So once you kind of settled in finally, um,
Yes.
yeah, I think what year was it that they came out? The Bandai Yu-Gi-Oh, the first print ones. Was that like 96 or something? 97?
It is, I think, is a 96, 97, the Bandai Yu-Gi-Oh.
Hmm. And those are technically like the
So
very first Yu-Gi-Oh cards, right?
yeah, yeah, those are technically the first Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but they're hard to find, and some people don't like the illustrations.
Okay. And I hear there's a lot of fakes now, and just finding like solid,
Yes,
like good condition ones is
so
impossible.
that's one of the biggest issue with Yu-Gi-Oh, and is one of the reason I left actually. Is there is a new emerging people
Hmm.
who are writing in Yu-Gi-Oh who are really, really good in faking.
Hmm.
Like when I say faking, we don't talk about just cards. We're talking about everything. The fake playmats, like in Yu-Gi-Oh, you have expensive playmat like $1,000,
Oh wow.
a couple $1,000 only for a playmat.
And those are, yeah, think those would be easy to fake. It's just printing. You don't have the black layer in the middle of the card. You don't have all the different types
Yeah,
of,
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
yeah,
still, like
yeah.
printing a playmat is a certain technique
Hmm.
behind it.
Okay.
you know and those people they are very, very good in faking, like playmat sleeves, cards, and most of the time they like replicate like expensive cards.
Oh yeah, of course.
Like
Yeah.
I saw myself like really expensive cards, and I was, wow. Like you don't see the difference
Hmm.
between the fake and the real one until someone show you the difference.
Okay. Yeah, it's not like that
So those
in
are
Pokemon yet.
one of the,
We're getting
yeah,
close.
yeah.
We're getting close.
Yeah, we're getting close to that.
Yeah. So so that's a reason why you left Yu-Gi-Oh. What drove you to Pokemon then after that? Was it just the other thing
Well,
you were
what
doing, or?
drove me to back to Pokemon, because Pokemon was at first the first card game I knew I encountered in my life, and always wanted to do something with Pokemon. So
Okay.
I started to buy a couple cards. I like. I didn't look after E4 or something. Like first at the moment, like really I bought some booster boxes. I bought like really things I really wanted to buy. Basically, I didn't look for expensive cards, rare cards, or something like that.
Hmm.
And then later on, after like 6 months later, I remember a couple of things from my past, and I there was one card I wanted a lot to buy is it was the Pikachu Nata promo,
Oh, the not awake.
and
Okay.
yeah, the Nata Wake. And one of the reasons is I remember very good because when I was a kid, I had another kid in my class. His parents was pretty established, and he when his father came back from Japan at that time, he brought him a Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, brand new games, cards, and for his birthday, he got the Nata promo card.
Oh, like in
You
this,
know,
like in the original, like seal, like how they were sealed. Weren't they with?
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly.
Wow.
And he talked about it in the class, and I was really shocked about what he said. Is he was like, I don't realize why my father gave me this nonsense Pikachu promo card. I was like, what? I was really shocked. I was really shocked. I was like, you have a father, who think about you, who brought you something, and give you something for your birthday. Like, what do you want more? You know?
It's
And,
funny. I think, yeah. I mean, even in the U.S., right? Somebody in our friend group, somebody's
hmm
dad went to Japan
hmm
for work for whatever reason, and
exactly,
they would bring
exactly.
back packs. They're like a couple
hmm
packs. I never
Yeah.
heard of anyone bringing back not awake promos or like Koro anything. Like it was just always packs. So that's pretty
hmm
unique to hear that. But yeah, it's so funny how somebody had a friend or somebody knew somebody that their dad went to Japan and came back with some Pokemon cards.
I think back in the day, going to Japan was a big deal for a lot of people.
Yeah.
For a lot of people. And I was really shocked about this situation, and and how he I felt really um different, and I was like, you really, I felt like he was really lucky,
Hmm.
and I think there was also this feeling of not having a supporting parents because my parents didn't support everything I did.
Hmm.
Like I was always in the gaming industry for card game, video games. I was always inside, and my parents never, support that.
Hmm. Well, yeah. I
For
mean,
them, this is nothing. It's just games. Like you can't make a living of it.
right, and really,
And I was,
still until recently, you haven't been. I
yes,
mean, and still even today, it's
yeah.
not
Even today, like you can't really rely on it.
right.
But I was sure, and of my whole life, my entire life, that this is what I want to do. I don't care if like I don't get everything I want in the world, but like if I have a shelter, some food, I was happy with that. So it brings me a lot of memory at that time, And so one of the first thing I thought is like buy one Pikachu and like keep it, and if one day I can have a signature on it, it will be the holy grail for me.
Really, a signature that
Yeah,
early on in life,
yeah, yeah,
wanting.
yeah. I already
Wow.
saw thought about signature because this specific card had really specific play memory
Mm,
in my mind back in the day, and I think when I saw about how baseball players or basketball players sign cards, I was like, if I can one day get a signature on this card, this will be my holy grail. And I thought about it like just like a joke, like
yeah.
it wasn't really something serious until later on.
Who was the artist of that card?
Is Kagemaru Himeno.
Himeno. Okay. And you have that now? You have the
Yes,
you do.
I have that. I have that now.
That's awesome. Do you have more than one?
I have one.
Wow, that's
It's
pretty
a
cool.
101 at the moment.
That's nice. Yeah, I know. Shoot, is it Himeno that Gary has his tropical mega battle badge? I think that's signed by Himeno.
Oh,
Is it Himeno? I forget already. Um, but yeah, that's pretty sweet. I only have my um the gold stars, the
Fukuda.
Fukuda. Yeah, I only have the Fukuda signatures that I got when I went to his signing event in Texas
Mm-hmm.
last year now. Yeah, like a year ago now.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
But yeah, that's pretty interesting with all the signature stuff going on. I know at the last Worlds we were at, you helped arrange kind of a exclusive
Yes,
signing
yes,
with
Imakuni.
with Imikuni. I didn't actually go to get anything signed by him. I was
Ah, man, you should.
I was
You
hanging out
should.
with Gary and Genmit Pokemon and some other guys,
Hmm.
just opening packs instead of going there. But
I
yeah.
remember I bought a couple packs from you. You remember?
Oh yeah, that's right. We did that. You were a part of that. Yeah.
Yeah, we opened the base unlimited packs.
Yes.
I remember that. I bought also a couple return packs from you,
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
and
that was a
a couple Rocket return decks also.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about that. You go to just about every Pokemon World Championship, right?
Yes.
Why?
Well, for a company, so what people don't know is like, so the company I have in Japan is I do it with some Japanese friends.
Okay.
Okay, but I'm not in the shop.
Hmm.
I'm not one of the. I'm not managing the shop. I'm doing more the managing of importing foreign products.
Gotcha. Okay.
Is what I do.
Yeah.
So they're doing their part for selling the product, um, bringing new customers, and I'm doing my part by bringing US cards, US product, exclusive things what Japanese people can't see in a regular store.
Hmm.
I'm looking for this tiny things will like blow their mind. They're like, oh, there's nowhere in Japan you can find this.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
this is one of the reason I go every year to at once.
gotcha. Yeah, you're buying the sleeves, you're buying the deck boxes, the play mats,
Not not just that.
yeah.
Not just that. Like really, talking with other people, talking with other companies,
Mm.
um, and just looking for something different, like
Mm.
something unique.
Okay. Okay.
You know,
That's cool. Yeah,
that people won't see anywhere.
that's where me and you are a little bit alike, right? Where we're big on networking, big on building relationships, and
Yes.
yeah, I kind of picked that up from you pretty early on. I mean, you're good friends with Scott. I think that's where you were introduced to a lot of people. He did a couple videos with you, um,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
um, because I know. Well, I don't know if you offer this to everybody, but you do middleman services occasionally.
Yeah, I do middleman. Yeah, occasionally, but it's not for everyone.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I offer sometimes yeah middleman services. And, if it can help, and I don't want it to be something um, basic or standard for everyone.
Right.
So really exclusive people,
Yeah.
exclusive group, I will say
Okay.
more.
Okay. Do you want me to take that out, or do you want me to?
No, no, I
That's
don't mind.
okay.
You can
Okay.
leave it.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
we've uh we've tried to do some deals together. Unfortunately, that they've all fallen through because
Yeah.
of the I guess the way the sellers are. But um,
Well, that's the thing with Japanese people. There is sellers who try to take advantage from you, and they sellers they just show what they want to sell. No,
mhm.
what they have, but they then never want to sell.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's something that I learned pretty quickly after after talking with you, and no, I'm still kicking myself because there was the first one that I called you about, and I was I was being greedy and trying to penny pinch and save some money, and um, I was too slow and ended up losing out on the
Mm-mm-mm.
opportunity, and I should have just went with my gut, went with it, had you take care of me, but um, I'll just have to wait for the next opportunity, I guess.
Yeah, next time
Yeah.
probably will something will happen.
Yeah. So this store in Japan, are you so like you said, you're sourcing and importing unique
Hmm.
items and helping build relationships for the store. Are you a part owner
Hmm.
of the store, or are you just kind of like a freelance contractor? Do you do this for other stores as well?
I'm a part uh how you can say it, um part owner,
Yeah.
part freelance
Okay.
of the sort.
Gotcha. That's pretty cool. That's good to have that
Because
freedom.
yeah, exactly. That's why, so I have this freedom to move anytime I want to move.
Hmm. Okay. So, for those that don't know right now, you're not in Japan at the moment.
Exactly.
um,
I'm not in Japan,
uh,
unfortunately.
how did that come about, and why aren't you?
Well, I left Japan in February 2020
Hmm.
for events in Germany and where in Denmark, something like that.
Hmm.
And then I end up with this COVID situation, people like leaving in the rush. I was like, damn. I was actually in Switzerland at that time.
Hmm.
I was actually in Switzerland, and events are starting to be canceled. I'm like, damn, this is maybe kind of serious situation. I should go back. So I changed my flight to the next day. So I went to Paris the same day and say, okay, well, I'm leaving tomorrow.
Hmm.
And at that day, I arrive in Paris. They make a lockdown.
Wow.
So I was like, can I go? They, nope.
Wow. And you're still there.
Yeah, I'm still there. I'm still there.
That's incredible, dude.
So after
That's.
that, a lot of things happened. Visa expired.
Hmm.
Um, Border closed. So I can't go, whatever the reason is.
Hmm.
So I have to wait until they reopen totally
Hmm.
to redo all the things, paperwork and all the stuff. But like,
Right.
this is how I end up here.
Yeah, that's very difficult, man. I'm sorry that you had to go
It
through
is,
that.
it is, it is. But at the same time, I think I'm kind of grateful of the
Mm.
situation because it allowed me to do things I will never do
Mm.
normally, and also to grow up in certain points. That there is no safe situation. There is no safe place when you say, oh, like I have a comfort zone.
Mm.
Like people keeping telling like, oh yeah, I prefer having a comfort zone.
Mhm.
COVID demonstrate that there is no such thing as a comfort zone
Mm.
for most of the people.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because you
there's, I don't know the exact saying, but yeah, you never want to, once you get comfortable, you get lazy.
exactly.
Yeah.
So the fact that you say, oh, I'm comfortable, I'm in my comfort zone, I have my work, I have my apartment or my house, I have everything what I need. Why should I take risk?
Hmm.
Well, COVID demonstrate that even if you have that, you can be in danger.
Hmm.
So it helped me a lot to to re-evaluate my whole lifestyle.
Mm. That's good. And yeah, it's, some of my friends that own different businesses, not just, cards or whatever, they've been able to adapt and learn about new opportunities to sell certain ways, or again build relationships with with different people, different uh, I guess companies as well, and it's
Hmm.
allowed them to learn and grow themselves. So that discomfort them getting forced to change their ways a little bit has actually been a good thing in ways. So that
Yeah,
when
yeah, I think it's a good thing in certain ways, you know.
mhm. So that
So
hopefully
really,
when we get back to normal, if there ever is a normal,
yeah, hopefully,
um,
at the end of this year.
yeah, then you can take all that knowledge and add that to what you were doing beforehand and just keep on growing. So
Exactly.
as a person, as a business, as however you treat it. So um, so this your plan with getting back to Japan. Um, are you going to be? I guess. Well, we know that Worlds got canceled right for this year again, unfortunately.
Yes, we know that.
Um, so your plan with Japan, with I guess the lack of events. Do you have any? What have you been brewing up? Do you have any new ideas, new business?
Well, at the moment, like what we're doing, so in Japan, so for that Japan part is we sell more in store,
Hmm.
and the store itself is willing more to be involved in grading cards.
Okay.
Already proposed grading to the to be a standard in our store, but uh, other people wasn't ready for grading
Hmm.
at that moment. Now grading is becoming like standard in Japan.
Is that
So
because of they added the PSA?
so I think there is multiple facts there. There is the fact that people seeing always expensive cards sold in PSA grading. But what Japanese people don't understand is like, for example, let's say a master scroll.
Mhm.
The last one sold, I think, it was 25,000.
Yeah.
I think something like that in
Yeah.
PSA 10, right?
Yep.
But that in PSA 10, but people want to sell you a raw card for the same price
Mm.
in Japan.
Yeah.
So there is this lag of knowledge that there is a difference between raw cards and PSA graded cards.
Oh, okay. That's interesting because a big part of my business right now is essentially flipping trophy cards because I'm able to buy them from Japan, get them graded,
Hmm.
and then sell them to the larger market here in the US. Um, you
Mm-hmm.
know, that's helping me build a lot of my collection, being able to do that. But knowing that
Mm-hmm.
the Japanese people are seeing these prices and then pricing their raw cards that way, it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
it's boosting up the market quicker in a way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, for example, what's going on recently, I saw is like that was today actually. So in Japan, the standard average sell price for Pikachu 20th anniversary, the
Mm.
full art,
Hmm.
is
Or how much?
$4,000.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Okay, but $4,000 is a PSA 10
Yeah.
price. So
That's why I haven't bought
there
any.
is me neither. So there is a lack of knowledge why, and they're like, why should I sell mine for cheaper? Is only in the case, and they don't understand that there's a difference between the cards being PSA graded and not graded,
Mm,
and it's not just PSA grading. Is there is the value of the grid itself.
okay.
You're not just buying the cards; you're buying the grade. So people don't understand that in Japan. But right now, PSC cards are like huge in Japan.
Oh,
Like
good.
there is a lot of big collectors and new actors what we didn't see before.
Hmm.
They just want them PSC 10. They don't want nothing else. No nines, no eights, only the tens.
Wow.
And they giving big money.
Really? Because yeah, I mean, I've started to see more graded cards on Yahoo Japan, and our our favorite guy PKO Picono, he's got some
Hmm.
graded trophies now up for sale, and uh, you know, I still don't know the full story behind him, but I don't think anybody does. So
I don't think anybody wants to know the truth either.
yeah. So that's interesting to hear that kind of that's the perspective, I guess, is the misinterpretation of value between graded and not graded. I think it's in one way it's very smart for them to not sell these super rare cards at these lower prices. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, I'm gonna guess that they eventually start to grade themselves more. Um,
Yeah, yeah. I think
is that
they start already.
they are is that PSA office in is it in Tokyo?
Yeah, the PSA office that I read, I remember when was it? I was in 2007, 2018.
Yeah, 2018,
I
I think.
saw the yeah, 2018 was it? I saw the guy actually in at the Japanese national event, and we talk a little bit what he's thinking to do, and his perspective was like really for Japanese people, you know. So I was like, oh, I think it's not a bad idea, so should work good. But now he is submerged of orders to send to, yeah, really, like he has so many orders, like he's like, wow. So there's another term, and I really thought at the beginning they will grade in Japan directly,
Ah, okay.
because if they were grading in Japan directly, it would be totally different.
Yeah, interesting. So he is it still just like the one guy that's basically the middleman service?
Well, he's not the middle. He's like a middleman servant basically, because
Yeah,
he has a contract with PSA officially.
right.
He's officially affiliated to PSA, and he sent his order like every month. He put all the order together and send them to PSA.
Gotcha. What are the prices like? Are
Uh,
they
I think is around $20 per card.
okay? That's not bad.
20 bucks a card, and I think it's regular
Okay.
in term of term of a time frame. But yeah, at the beginning, like there wasn't no big demand
Hmm.
in green cards.
Yeah.
So yeah, I there is a couple of friends who asked me, like a couple of Japanese people who asked me like if I can grade cards for them. I was like, it doesn't worth it for them to grade cards with me,
Okay.
because I'm sending a lot of cards. Like I'm doing bulk, I'm doing different things,
Mm.
and what they want is just like only one or two cards,
Mm.
and I don't want to mix up cards like
Right.
theirs with another guy's cards.
Right.
So it's better, for them to go directly to PSA Japan and submit their cards, and everybody's happy.
Yeah, that's good. It's
So it started slowly, and then recently I realized like a lot of people was like, "Oh, I sent 100 cards, I do 200 cards." I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa."
yeah, doing a grading service like that is it's a full-time job. Like it's so
Right.
much work to manage and keep organized and I've been asked to do stuff like that and I just don't want to touch it. It's too much work. And there's
A lot of people ask me too, but I don't want to touch those
yeah,
things.
like I send them over the Ludkins like to Charlie, have them send their cards to them. Because
Mhm.
I just yeah, they got the system worked up, they got a business built around it. Just use them.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I don't want the responsibility or take up the time. It's too much.
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
Well, that's good to see because yeah, I remember when they announced that office opening in Tokyo. It didn't really make sense because we were in a little bit of a lull with Pokemon, and
Mhm.
and I know a lot of people were like questioning why would they do that, but uh,
Well, I
it's
thought like really for me, my mind was like, if they open an office in Japan, will it be like they will open a huge facility in Japan and just grading directly in Japan? Because we know that Japan has the biggest population in any cards, and they just going after like all those cards, Because if they are willing just to grade cards in Japan, like, damn, like there is a lot of work to do.
Yeah, there's a serious opportunity still. I mean, I've got like if they would grade all their Weiss Schwartz stuff and um
Exactly.
yeah, I mean, well that yeah, like you said, it's where like all the card games that are popular now
Because there
are
is
are
so
birthed, you know.
so many card game, popular or non-popular,
Yeah,
in card game in Japan. Did you know that in Japan there is in average 20 new card game coming out and 20 card game who's dying every week?
every week.
Every week.
Wow, I don't think I see that in like
No,
in like
just
multiple
try to
years.
imagine.
Yeah, like when I walk into a card shop here, I rarely see anything new. Maybe like one new card game that somebody made locally every like 6 months. That's insane.
It is insane. So that's why I felt like this would be huge. Like wow! Like I was so excited. It wasn't exactly that, but we never know. Maybe in the future they're going after those things.
Maybe you should figure out a way to get PSA on your resume there as a consultant or something, and get them
Well,
to up their game, because that could be a huge opportunity for yourself, for Japan, for just cards in general.
yeah. I think there is a huge opportunity there. So I will see what's going on, and it depends like how everything is going. Like
Hmm.
PSA, what they want to do in the future, what they plan, and how much they are willing to put in research, and what they are willing to do actually in the future.
Mm.
Because there is always this gap between uh, what I think will be great and what the company think is great.
Right. Yeah.
So there is always this gap, and if we find middle point for both of us, yeah, there is probably something to do, and not just for all the cards game, just for Pokemon itself. Pokemon itself, there is like what 20 different other type of cards out there.
Hmm. With the
I'm talking
Magi,
about
Top Sun.
exactly
Yeah.
Tap Sans. We're talking about all the things Pokemon don't grade, like Pokemon phone cards, all the Pokemon stickers,
Hmm.
like in size of a cards, because there's stickers like cards, all the certain vending series, all these things.
Yeah.
Like just Pokemon itself had has almost like 20 different type of cards out there, and they are not graded by PSA. So imagine PSA will grade those things in the near future.
I'm just thinking about the Japanese slabs and how much premium there's going to
Ex-
be on that. I mean,
yeah,
you take a card like this and you have it in all kanji, like like that would
exactly.
be nuts. That would be
That would be
wild.
crazy. That would be nuts. Like people would go after them.
Yeah, I would send it to Japan to get regraded to have it like properly.
Yeah. Or like rehold, please rehold.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because that's one, like I'm a huge Dragon Ball Z fan, like massive.
Oh
You can
man,
see all
Dragon
the.
Ball. Oh
Um,
yeah, I see that. I see
and
that.
and every time I go on Yahoo Japan and look at the Dragon Ball Z section, I mean, there's just like an endless amount of different types of cards. I remember
Ooh,
seeing there was one Mandarake auction like a while ago that actually
yes.
it had a Pikachu illustrator in it. I think this was in like 2017 or 18. And
Okay.
I was looking at the auction block just for whatever reason. There was a
Hmm.
Dragon Ball Z card that sold for more than the Pikachu illustrator.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. People think um, Pokemon is amazing. Dragon Ball is more. I'm looking for something for a second. Give me a second. I hope I will find it. I just hope I will find it. No, where is it? Just like I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan myself. Oh, there you go. So I will show you something. So you know Cardass, right?
Yeah.
And Cardass made Dragon Ball for decades,
Okay.
and they started to reprint Dragon Ball Cardass
Yeah.
recently.
Yeah. Like,
Okay,
how recent?
there you go.
Dude.
Okay, you ready? You ready? You
Okay, we
ready?
gotta see this. Oh no. Dude.
Like this is really recent.
I I need 20 of these.
and like and like when I heard about those, I was like, what? What? Hold on. I show you another one.
Uh,
I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan myself.
yes, this is awesome. All right, no longer a Pokemon podcast. This is a Dragon Ball Z podcast. Yes. Okay. So these are the cards that I see that just have like crazy asking prices.
Exactly, exactly. And those are recent. We talking about last year and the year before.
Hmm.
And usually, like they are only in pre-order and they sold out really quickly.
Mm.
So when I start to realize that I was really, I'm myself a big Dragon Ball fan, so I start really to to buy those I can buy. And when I see it, I was like, wow, if PSA can grade them, wow, I would be that would be so huge for me.
Hmm.
But there's so many Dragon Ball cards, like
Yeah.
it is insane, really insane. Like we don't talk about Dragon Ball heroes. Like I have hundreds binders only Dragon Ball hero cards.
Jeez.
I have complete set of each edition. I'm talking about common, uncommon, rare, super rare, ultra rare, secret rare,
Hmm.
promos. Like I'm a huge fan of Dragon Ball. Like
Do
in,
you
in Dragon Ball cards, like
do you play the
it's crazy.
Dragon Ball Super? Do you have a bunch of that set of those sets or
Yeah, I have a couple of those. Like I
yeah?
have things that people maybe don't know. I had Dragon Ball IC Cardass.
What's that?
That was like in 2015. 2015 is some Dragon Ball cards with IC chip inside, so you can read it with your phone.
Really? So, all right.
Really?
So
You can.
card ass is like the top. Like that's the best stuff.
Yes.
Okay. Because I've been trying to like, I really want to dive into this myself, but I just don't know. All I see are like box sets, like they have the complete set in them. I see
Hmm.
random files like that have a set, like a promo set or something.
So Cardass has different sets.
Hmm.
There is many sets out there. Like there is certain set is for most of the people impossible to complete
Hmm.
because just a common card costs $1,000. We talking about a common who is $1,000, and the set has like hundred. I don't know how many cards.
This is dangerous.
Like really, card that is crazy.
Yeah.
But I know that for a fact that the biggest card that's collector is in Singapore.
Oh, really?
Like Singaporean, like they are huge collectors.
Dang. All that gambling money in Singapore.
Oh man, yeah, man, you can't imagine.
Uh, dude, yeah, okay. See, I'm gonna after this, I'm gonna be diving into Yahoo Japan and just looking at all the Dragon Ball Z cards and buying things I shouldn't be buying. Um,
Well, for me, there's no more sense to go to Yahoo Japan.
no, you just have all the
The
connections now.
prices are not just about connection. Like the prices, they're crazy,
Yeah.
and a lot of foreigners they go into Yahoo Japan and offering so much
Hmm.
that most of the time I'm outbidded. Like
Hmm.
I didn't win any auction for I don't know a couple months now. To give you example,
That's insane. It's unbelievable what's
it
happening
is
in this whole collectible market, man.
yes.
I still I just don't understand. Like as much of it I've been doing this for a while. I have a nice collection. I feel like I know what I'm doing, but now I just have no idea. I don't think anybody does. We're all just guessing at this point.
Well, here's the thing. So I give you a real example um, from a time to another time. Okay, so in 2016. when Royal Mask came out. I was one of the first persons like, this is only 100 who will be given out. I don't care how it looks like. I just want one of. I just want one of it. So it was really difficult at the time to get a hand of a Royal Mask because everybody want to have a Royal Mask in Japan, but outside Japan it wasn't that big deal.
Mm-mm.
Outside Japan it wasn't a big deal. So I get my hands on the Royal Mask, and for me I was like, okay, if I buy this, I'm looking for 5 to 10 years minimum. Okay, if I want to sell it one day, if I want to see growth on price, I'm looking for 5 to 10 years. I was like, I don't care. I like it. It's exclusive. There's only 100. The number talk by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Officially, Pokemon say we're giving out 100, not more. So it's like a trophy, but recent.
Right.
So I get my hands on it. I keep it. No problem. Okay. Later on, people start to realize actually there is a huge opportunity inside.
Mm.
And then the price go from 1,000 to 50,000. Right now, as we speaking, you and me speaking,
Yeah.
the buying price, we're talking about buying price, not selling. Buying price of a Royal Mask right now in Japan is $50,000.
Wow.
This is free number, no Patreon, nothing. Free number.
Wow. Because I know, well, they have. Is that the one they also released 100 in Korean as well?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Okay. Wow, 50,000, and that's for the Japanese one. Because
Exactly.
I know the Korean one. There was always one kind of like floating around on eBay here that never really sold. I don't know if it's still up, but wow, I didn't realize. And that's just the buying price from the
So,
store. So they would sell for what, like 60, 70?
60, 70.
Yeah.
So it is really, really interesting to see, the changing, what happened
Hmm.
between 2006 no, we're talking
16.
2016 and now.
Yeah.
And for fact, like I have like the on my phone the buying sheets, what stores used to put, online or in front of the store, we buying this card for this much.
Hmm.
And when I see the difference between 2016 and now, I'm like, whoa, what just happened?
It's been tough. I mean, has that, I've got a few friends and myself included where we've been selling a lot of our collection because of that. The amount of money that these cards are worth to a lot of people now doesn't make sense for us to keep them anymore because it's money that can be,
Exactly.
life changing or, do something greater for us. Are you having that
Hmm.
same feeling? I mean, we kind of mentioned before we
Well,
started recording that you've been in Paris for so long, kind of stuck there, right?
hmm
That you've had to sell parts of your collection in order to keep money flowing, right?
yes.
I've been doing the same because I left my job to do Pokemon full time, and I had to take away the emotions out of my collection and start selling some of it to help
hmm
build, to continue building. So,
hmm
have you been doing a lot of that lately?
Yeah, I have been doing that lately a lot. Because like I think this COVID situation is something I thought myself we will be doing in 5 or 10 years.
Mm,
I wasn't seeing Pokemon in a peak like this one before 5 or 10 years.
I agree. Yeah.
So I was like really buying slowly and building a growth of cards. I thought like worth it and will be really valuable in this point of time. But what happened is COVID arrived and accelerate the whole thing
Yes.
because people are stuck at home, nothing to do, stimulus check, hobbies, and eventually figuring out that there is some collectible out there that can secure the money inside.
Hmm.
We're not talking about Bitcoin, Dogecoin, or anything. We're not talking about real estate or anything.
Right.
We're talking about something who can worth a lot. You can carry with you without going noticed.
Hmm.
Will you know if someone has an illustrator with him in train? No.
No,
If someone has $1 million in cash with him, will you know?
probably.
Exactly. So what is exactly the point. So
Yeah.
people start to realize there is a hobby they like. They
Hmm.
always liked when they was kid, and they can collect it for themselves, and also eventually keep money inside.
Hmm.
It is what a lot of people start to realize.
Yeah.
So at that point, they're not just buying cards. It's like saving money for sure. Like
Mm.
having a safe where you know that whatever happened, I will get my money back.
Possibly. We hope so.
Possibly, but most of the time,
Right.
not all of it,
Right.
but most of the time.
Right.
So when you start to see that people start to say, "Hold on, hold on, hold on! I want to buy this. I want to buy this. I want to buy this," and people start to be scared
Right.
that everything vanished. And if people start to be scared, well, they want to buy everything quickly, and the price start to grow.
Yeah.
And we are at a certain point that even me myself, like I was like, whoa. I just to give you an example, I sold something 1 month ago for a good price.
Mm.
I was like, is a decent price,
Hmm.
And now when I see the price is doubled, and I was like, did I underestimate the market? Like, and after all my information I got at that at that point of time,
Hmm.
I couldn't see the growth that big
Hmm.
in less than a month.
Yep. Yeah.
And this is something we've seen every single day right now.
Right. Yeah. No, I had the same exact thought, right? 5 to 10 years, I thought we were gonna hit peak market, you know?
Hmm.
And just like you said, it accelerated to now. So I mean the other conversation that I have to sit back and try to figure out is, okay, does that establish that there's gonna be a new peak market in 5 to 10 years? And I can't figure that one out yet. I don't think anyone can. Because for so long in 2016, 17, 18, I'm sure you did. I myself had just this great feeling, this great understanding of where we would be. There was solid growth. There was reason behind everything. There was, we
Exactly.
could see, obviously we can't predict, but we had a clearer picture of what was going to happen. And this
Hmm.
just threw everything off. And
Yeah.
yeah, I sold a ton of stuff early on. I told you about that. I sold a
Hmm.
ton of stuff right before the pandemic, thinking like,
Yeah.
okay, I wanted to protect myself, have money, be sure I was safe, and
Mm.
yeah, within 4 or 5 months, I missed out on like a few $100,000 because I sold like it's disgusting. You obviously we can all look back 5 years ago, 4 years ago, and be like, yeah, we
Hmm.
missed out on money, but that was 4 or 5 years ago. But when you look back
Hmm.
1 month, 1 week, 1 day, that that is hard to live with. That is hard to
Well,
really like
I,
understand.
I think so. One of my friends, I was talking with one of my friends, and he's a bit he has his business, and he's doing different things, and he explained me something, and I thought about that. And I was like, he's maybe right. He's like, hold on, Jean Luc. So you're telling me you sell this price and you were happy at that point with all the information you had?
Mhm.
I'm like, yes. So don't be angry about it.
Right.
This is a specific situation no one could predict.
Mhm.
With whatever, there is not one single person of this earth who can tell you, I predicted this moment. It's impossible.
Right.
No, really, really.
Right.
So that's the first thing. Second thing is, well, you could not sell it and the mark just dropped the next week later.
Yeah.
So don't, hurt yourself
Mhm.
because you thought you did wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. You were happy at the moment you sell it. At your moment, you thought you was doing the right thing. So it was the right thing to do.
Mhm.
Even if 2, 3 months, the price doubled, triple, quadruple after that.
Right. Yeah.
But at least you learned something.
Yeah.
And I thought about it. It was really hard to accept. But I was like, yeah, he's right, actually. Because whatever happened, this situation is special, is unprecedented. So what's going to be after that will be unprecedented too.
That's right. That's right. No, it's funny.
So,
I had a stock that I owned or still own,
mhm,
and I was at my dad's place uh, over the
mhm,
weekend, telling him about it. It went up this much, made this much money. He's like, "Well,
mhm.
if that was me, I'd be out. If that amount of growth, I'd be out. I would have sold it. Blah blah blah." This morning, when the market opened, down 50%, 50, which I mean, like that's the one thing that it can happen in Pokemon. Things can go
Yes,
down in a day in 50%.
exactly.
You just won't see
Yes,
it like you'll see it like on the stock market because there's not the numbers
yes.
closely associated with it.
And I think the reason behind that is uh, I'm ready to bet with anyone. Anyone who's willing to bet with with that person. There will be a lot of people who lose a lot of money in a year. You know why? What will happen if at the maximum at the end of the year, if at the end of the year we are out of this COVID situation, people will go back to work, people will go back to college, the normal life come back. What
Mhm.
does it mean normal life? Well, I have to go back work. That's mean I need more money for my car or for my new apartment because I had to move there.
Mhm. For gas,
Or I
for
need
food,
money.
for
Exactly.
going on trips, doing all that, everyone starts spending money elsewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So at that moment, what will happen? Of course, there will be people that's like, no, I don't want to sell. I don't want to sell.
right.
But not everyone agree with that point
Mhm.
because certain people was like, no, I want my money back.
Yeah, I need my money back.
What will be that situation? I need my money back.
Mhm.
So when will be that situation?
No one knows. No one will ever know
One knows.
until the day after.
So
Until
exactly.
yeah,
So until that day comes, I prefer, to say, okay, I have this occurred for this card, even if it's sold double or triple the next day, I don't care
right.
because I know um, normally I won't be able to sell this card at this price.
Hmm.
So just take the money, do whatever I want to do with it, spend it, reinvest it, whatever it is.
Yeah,
But I won't look back and say, damn, why did I wait a day or two or a week or a month, whatever it is, you know? And it helps me slowly, to try to read, I won't say the future, but the moment we live in.
right. Yeah, I mean that's the key is continuing to buy and sell into every market, right? You use the
Hmm.
information you have and make the best decision at that time. You reinvest, you
Exactly.
buy, yeah, you just continue to grow, uh, and hopefully, yeah, continue making those right decisions and
Hmm.
not always betting at all, but you know, doing what you can. So I want to hear a little bit more about like your personal collection. I mean, what's something that you like? What's your favorite subset or set of cards within Pokemon that you'll hold on to
There
forever?
is, I think there is a couple. At first, a couple signature.
Okay.
So I don't know how where I am right now. Cards. so I can't show you anything.
Mm.
But like the Not Awake Pikachu
Mm-hmm.
cards, I have it signed with the hymno, with my name on it. This is something I will keep for forever
Mm.
because it bring me back so many memories, so many tough times, and for me, this is something like every time when I see it, like it's like I reviving the time,
Yeah.
So this is a couple things I will never um, sell whatever the price is.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, that. But of course, there is certain cards for me who I am attached to it because there is certain sentimental value on it. For example, Jungle, Jolteon, Flareon, and Vaporeon, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I like those because it it's the art of the game itself,
Mm. Yeah.
and it's something I always really wanted to see in cards. And when I saw the cards, I was like, damn, I want those in Japanese. And for the moment, it is very very difficult to require those in PSC 10s.
Yeah.
Having a full set of those PSC 10s is my dream. I have a full set PSC 9, but again, there is a couple of cards like that. For example, Versus series.
That's my favorite.
Versus series. The Versus series is one of the things I really, really loved for a long time. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Oh, it's awesome. It's my favorite.
No, the Versus series is one of those. Wow! Every time when I look into it, it reminds me a lot of um on
The Kasube artwork, man, is.
on when I played Pokemon Crystal.
Okay. Yeah.
Really, really, when I see the art, it remember me those moments. Like really, the art is like wow. Like one of the cards I like in those arts, like for example, Lancer Gyarados or Lancer Dragonite.
Right. Those are my favorite.
Of course,
Yeah.
those are like really. Yeah, man, this is amazing. I like that card.
All the Lance's cards are those are my favorite artworks. If I could get all the Lance's cards signed by Kasube, that's
Man,
my holy grail. That's what I
like
want.
if I think the day Kusube will be on any signing event, whatever happened, I could be like I don't know in in Mongolia or in at the end of the world in Antarctica, but I will go there.
I will
Like
be
this
there.
is,
I will
I will be there.
I will break all of these out of the cases and get them signed. Like I don't know what it is. His artwork just is exactly what I like. It's that like
Just
it's
crazy.
simple. It's sketch. It's like a sketch, pencil sketch.
Yes.
Oh, it's great. It's great.
No, really, I this is one of those sets I really, really love.
Mm-hmm.
I have still a lot of cards of them non-graded.
Mm.
Like recently, one of the cards of the set I really, really going up is Karen's Umbreon.
Mm-hmm.
Karen's Umbreon was one of those cards. The first time I saw it, I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. I was really. And the thing is, back in the day, I don't know if you know, but like, so there was 3 packs: Leaf Grass, Psychic Fighting, and Fire Water.
Mm.
Okay, and certain cards are in a certain packs.
Exactly like how you said it. They would come with that. With yeah, they would only come
Exactly.
in those energies. Yeah.
Exactly. So I remember, like, I was looking for those Karen Umbreon for a long, long time, and I was like, hold on a second. In which of those 3 I will find them? And I was looking to it until like one day someone gave me a friend gave me as a gift fire water,
Hmm.
and I pulled the Holy Grail in one pack,
Wow.
two cards. And for me, I was like, whoa, like I don't want anything else.
And they only
I got
come
the
in
Charizard.
those 30 pack card or
Exactly.
oh, you pulled the
So
Charizard.
I pulled the Charizard. That was one of the things. I was like, wow! And it was one of really, really, really things I liked. And the current Umbreon.
Wow. I've only opened one
Like,
pack. It was the psychic fighting. So
mm-hmm,
so I had bought some guy had a open box of fire water and leaf lightning. Or yeah.
mm-hmm,
And I graded all the cards. So I had 2/3 of the set basically. Um,
mm-hmm.
I had none of the fighting psychic. I had one pack
Okay.
that came in like a random collection I bought, and
Mm-hmm,
I was hanging out with people on Discord and said, "All right, I'm gonna open this pack. All I want is Lance's Aerodactyl and one of the Espeons." I open it up. I pull. I think the hollow is you get an energy hollow, and then you get
mm-hmm.
one of the rocket like dogs. I pulled the Suicune hollow dog,
Oh, Suicune is very good.
and then was it the Suicune? No, I pulled the Raikou. I pulled the Raikou. Um,
Oh, you pulled the right one.
but I got the
Oh,
Lance's.
yes.
I,
Suicune was in the other pack.
I got the Lance's Aerodactyl. I got both
That's good.
Espeons. I got Gengar. I
Oh,
got Gengar. And then
good too.
so yeah, I think it was like the four best non-hollows you can get from that pack.
Like the whole set worth grading. The
Everything.
whole set. Every single card. Everything.
Trainers, all of it.
Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe. I graded the trainers, but
No, really,
yeah.
you did the right thing. I remember I worked for a company. I won't say the name, but the Japanese company who paid me peanuts back in the day in 2014. Really peanuts, But I wanted to have the experience working for a Japanese company, and that company has a big, big card shop. He has a lot of card shops, and they are really established in Japan. I think if you're talking about card shops, they are number one, I guess,
Okay.
in Japan. And I remember I was um I was handling their eBay US account,
Mm.
and I remember I sold back in the day. That was like 2013, 2014. We're talking about 2014, 2013.
Mm.
So I sold Versus Series booster for 100, $150. I remember that. Like, and my boss was like, yeah, 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 good job, good job. And I was like, damn, 150? And for me, it was like, wow, like I want a couple of those for 152. But it was my job, and I had even the opportunity to open a couple of packs and everything. It was really, really good time.
That's awesome. Yeah, these
Versus series, very,
so
very good.
they're very hard to find too, right? I mean, the boxes are listed
Yeah,
for $10,000-$20,000 on eBay if they ever are. Packs are $700, $1,000 each now. It's pretty wild.
I still have a couple of packs
Mm.
left, like two or three of each
Nice.
somewhere.
Nice. Yeah, I would have opened them by now.
I opened so many already. Like,
Yeah,
oh my
you
god,
don't need to at this point. Okay, so your signed cards, your versus series, um,
Pikachu promos.
Pikachu promos just all across the board. Are you a big fan
Like,
of all the like? I mean, you love that. I mean, that's awesome. Like in Japan, you get spoiled with all the new promos that come out for the new stores and all the special collabs that they do with Mario Pikachu type stuff. Um, so do you collect all of that? Do you do you buy every new Pikachu or it's too much?
like most of the Pikachu promos, I had them.
Yeah.
Most of them. I still miss a couple of them,
Mm.
of course, but most of them I have them because I like the art. They always unique, different artists. and it gives different aspect of Pikachu.
Yeah.
So I have like I don't count them anymore. But I want to see other cards, you know,
Yeah.
outside Pikachu. Like this is one thing I realized when I start to live in Japan.
Mm.
Every time there's something, there will be Pikachu promo. I'm
Yeah.
like, why always Pikachu? Like there is over 700 Pokemon. Like why always Pikachu? Like I know Pikachu is the mascot and blah blah blah. Like there's other amazing cards out there,
Mhm.
other amazing Pikachu out there, Pokemon. I mean, out there. Like outside Pikachu and Charizard, of course,
Right,
because
right. Well, now
so
Eevee, everything's Eevee too now.
yeah, and of course Eevee too. But like I want to see things like I don't know Mew promos or Gengar promos or even
Gyarados,
things like
Dragonite.
Dragonite promos. Yeah, things like that.
Mhm.
You know, I want to see more things like what was it? A little bit more syllabi promos.
Mm.
Um,
I mean, they
what
did
else? Like,
special delivery Pikachu. I don't think we'll ever see special delivery Charizard, but special delivery
well,
Dragonite. He was
nah, I won't say that. I won't say that.
not yet, but
I won't say that.
special delivery Dragonite would have been perfect. He's the messenger for Bill in the anime,
Yes, yes,
right? Where
exactly, exactly.
use
That's
that
true. That's true.
Pokemon. Come on, Pokemon. Like, come on.
Yeah,
It's right
exactly.
there in
That's
front of
true.
you.
That's true. That's true. You're right. You're right. You're right. I remember when you saw the film, Dragonite was the messenger.
Yeah. Yeah, it's right there in front of you, Pokemon. You gotta be smarter than that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true.
Yeah,
In
man.
many ways.
I don't want to have to buy 10,000 Japanese booster packs.
Well,
Oh man.
I guess in on Mercari there will be sellers. They having again 100 of them, 200 of them. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be something I'll have to jump on fast. I mean the illustration Charizard, the Grand Prix promo 143.
Hmm.
I mean that one is blowing up. PSA 9s are like
Hmm.
$150 or something. It's crazy. And there's a ton of those.
Yes, and I think the demand is so huge. There is not enough of it because the demand at the moment is worldwide,
Mm, yeah.
which is different to local place or just Japan.
Hmm.
If we were talking about just Japan, well, there is more capacity than Japan could hold
Hmm.
in printing. But now the demand is so big, like whatever the Japanese people print,
Mm,
the world can take everything because most of the buyer, more than 50, I will say even 70% of the buyers, they're not in Japan.
yeah. Yeah, that's true. Wow. I didn't really
So
think about
whatever
that.
the
I mean,
quantity they print out,
yeah. I mean, it's funny because, we live in this little community here still, like with E4 and these other guys. And,
mhm,
you've got 10, 20 friends that are buying 500, they're buying 1,000 of them. But then you have to think
I,
like
I,
the other 100,000 people that would want one of these, they don't know how to buy 500 of them. They don't know how to buy
well,
1,000.
we know a couple of people in E4 when something coming out, they buy like 100, 200,000, 5,000. You're like, but again, I think this is kind of a monopoly game, you know.
Right.
We talking about connection and capacity
Mm. Yeah.
because there's so many people out there who has a lot of product, a lot of cards, but they don't sell.
Yeah.
We don't see them sell a lot or barely sell. You know,
Mm.
if those people one day decide to sell, what will happen to the market?
It's going straight down.
Like really
Well, maybe,
asking
maybe
those
not.
questions. Like real,
I mean, it's
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Like I
yeah.
know people. I know people. I know people, and you know them too. they, they have huge capacity. They
Hmm.
have huge capacity. They have huge quantity of cards.
Hmm.
If those people decide one day to say, you know what, I'm putting everything on the market,
Hmm.
what will happen?
Yeah. It would scare a lot of people.
Oh man,
It
that
would
will scare more than a lot of people.
Yeah, no.
Like
It's
they have the power even to scare stores. I know people. I know people. They have so many, not just cards but booster boxes.
mhm,
They have the capacity to scare stores.
mhm.
Like stores will be like, I can't do anything.
Yeah. Wow.
That's the thing. A lot of people don't think about it.
Yeah.
There is always bigger than you.
Yep.
There is always bigger than you, but nobody will really want to think about it.
Mhm.
Nobody thinking like, okay, let's think for example, there is a bigger than me out there, and for whatever reason, they he just want to drop everything on the market. What will happen?
Yeah, all the
In less than
prices.
24 hours, like
But
it will be happen so many things.
yeah, that's an interesting thought. I mean, because even if that did happen, I mean, with how big the demand now is, I feel like a lot of it would just get purchased like super quick and then forgotten about.
Ah, not
But
sure about
on
that.
yeah, but on the other hand, uh, yeah, I guess
Let's say, for
yeah,
example, one person has like two, 300 cards of the same cards,
yeah.
and we have, let's say, 4 or 5 people like that,
But I mean,
and the
I okay. So you know the Pikachu promo number 27, Black Star Pikachu promo, the Bumblebee Pikachu.
yeah, yes,
So I found a guy that had 12,000 of them. One guy.
yeah, one guy.
Okay. He sold. He didn't sell to me for some reason. He sold to someone else who flipped it all on Facebook. Uh, to some of our friends that we know.
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Oh, okay,
now
okay.
myself included, I sent off, I think 400, 500 to get graded.
Mm-hmm.
If I put all of those on the market at one time, sent them all to PWCC to auction in one auction, it would destroy. Yeah, it would probably ruin the
Yeah,
price.
I was just trying to
Yeah,
exactly,
but
exactly. This
but
is what I'm talking about.
yeah, but the thing is, I mean, so 12,000 is a lot. But if you talk like about 1,000 of these cards, I think there's more than 1,000
No,
people that would want it. It would still hurt the price
yeah,
because it would be so
no,
available. But
for sure.
but yeah, the demand would still even for 12,000. I feel like there's 12,000 people in the world that would like to own a Bumblebee Pikachu. Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
for that specific case, yes,
Yeah.
I think 12,000 people will probably buy it. But when we talk, for example, illustration contest, Charizard,
Hmm.
okay, and let's just say there is 3 people out there, okay, they have, oh, let's say 10,000 each,
Yeah.
okay, and they decide for whatever the reason is to send it to Express and get it back. There are 30,000 of those of the same Charizard coming back
Hmm.
in the market. What will happen?
Well, that's the. I always compare this to sports. I don't know if you do sports cards at all,
I'm trying to get into sport.
but Zion Williamson, the phenom from playing for the Pelicans, um,
Hmm.
his now of course sports has like 100 different sets that they print, but the very
Hmm.
first set, the most popular set, I guess,
Hmm.
between PSA and Beckett, there was over 50,000 of his rookie card graded,
Okay.
not including the numbered cards, the
Hmm.
refractors, all the different colors, right? And then include all the different sets. There's probably well over 100,000 rookie cards of this one guy. Yet
Hmm.
people are still buying them. There's a ton of them on the market. Prices are doing okay. I mean, they're not obviously they went down from when they first came out with all the excitement.
Yeah,
But could Pokemon get on that level of demand where 50,000 of the same card can be bought up? I don't know. Maybe.
that's the question.
We don't know.
Maybe, but not sure.
Yeah. Because to
The
us, it
thing,
seems huge now, right? Pokemon seems
yes.
huge right now. but it still doesn't really compare to sports.
Like if you compare it to sport, like Pokemon is still a baby.
Yeah,
Maybe not a teenager,
maybe preteen, 12 or
a
13.
preteen, yeah, 12, 13,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, it's
So
interesting,
yeah,
man.
really, when you think about that, like really, sometimes you're like, wow, this is totally different level.
Hmm.
We may be in this transition of Pokemon going to level of sports. We are
Maybe.
maybe in this transition. Maybe we don't know yet.
Right.
We need to see how things go next year and the year after.
Hmm.
But there's a couple things I realize there is there's certain cards like you see it, they way too much overvalued. You're like, what? There's there's no way,
Unlimited
Um,
Charmander,
I
$500.
I will say Patreon for those who knows. But like really, like there's certain things like you asking yourself like why? Like where does it come from?
Hmm.
But again, there's so many people out there, there's so many demand. Why not just I won't be thinking about it.
Hmm.
But maybe, I don't know, in 10, 20 years, it will be a huge thing. But from right now, from 10 to 20 years, then the same cards sell it for 500. What can you do with those 500 in 10, 20 years?
Right.
How many times can you flip those $500?
A lot more, probably. A lot more. Yeah,
Exactly.
a lot more.
It is a good thing to know a card has a potential,
Hmm.
but it is another thing to know you can flip the same amount for more in the same time, spent,
Right. Right.
which is different. Really, make a huge difference.
Hmm.
A lot of people will say, yeah, if I knew that this car will value $100,000, I will keep it until it is $100,000 and sell it.
Hmm.
But they don't think what will happen if I flip it the first time for 10,000, and with those 10,000, I bought something, and I flip it for 15, and then for 20, and then for 100. How long will it take me to get to 100,000?
Right. And most of the time, the flipper mentality like that wins most of the time for most cards.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So there is two things to think about it. But again, you're thinking that you're doing the right thing at the moment you're doing it.
Hmm.
Because for the same reason, if you flip a card today, okay, and or no, you buy a card today to flip it tomorrow, you're not sure to get that price tomorrow.
Right.
So you could spend $100,000 in one card, expecting to flip it for 150,000 tomorrow. If the man doesn't meet tomorrow, you don't do nothing. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing to do. There's no deal. There is.
Right. Yeah.
So again, we're talking about risk and reward,
Hmm.
and there is a certain fact of timing also.
Hmm. Yeah.
So flipping, I don't mind people who flip.
Right.
I think it is something necessary for the game to grow, to get growth in the whole community.
Hmm.
But again, what the reason those people are flipping?
Hmm.
There's two different things. There's those people who are flipping because they're at base collectors. They want to collect for themselves and basically flip this card because if they have this money, they buy something else and flip it again and buy something they want to buy.
Exactly.
It's different to someone who doesn't give a shit about anything, just buy it and flip it, buy it, flip it, buy it, flip it. There's two different things.
Hmm.
So I don't think flipping cards is necessarily a bad thing.
Oh no.
It can be a good thing too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm one of the most notorious flippers right now. I mean, I I do not have a personal attachment to or a nostalgic attachment to this trophy Pikachu. I'm going to sell it, and I'm going to buy something that I do have a emotional attachment to. That's just how it works.
Exactly.
Exactly like you
It
said.
is how it works.
Yeah, exactly how
So
it works.
I don't think anything bad about flipping.
Hmm.
But when people start saying, "Well, but now there's not just flipper, there's scalper now," like what?
They just keep adding to it. They just keep adding to it.
Yeah, they
Just make it worse and worse.
I was
But
like, yeah, I was like, but it's the same mentality, it's the
mhm,
same thinking.
yeah.
So of course, it is not uh, joyful to see a father going to Target or any store and there's not even one Pokemon cards or pack to buy. Of course, it is heartbreaking to see that.
Hmm.
But again, we live in a unprecedented situation.
Yep.
That's something people need to understand. This is this situation. Like I was recently, nothing to do with Pokemon, but like recently talking with my grandma. And I went to see her and we talked a little bit. And she told me like, I know you're still young, but like this is unprecedented. I never saw something like this in my life. So if you have a little bit money, um, put money on side or buy something on side, in case anything happened. But because this is unprecedented, and she's like, I don't know where the world is going, but I never see something before like that. And this grandma, she is on the German side, so
Mhm.
she has a little bit, she has a little bit. And I was kind of kept by this moment when she say, if you have the opportunity to seize immobilier or something you value, do it now because you won't have another chance to get back to it.
Mhm.
Of course, there will be things dropping, but certain things won't drop. They will continue to grow.
Mhm.
So this is the moment for you. If there's something you really value, this is the moment to buy it. Because once you miss the opportunity, it won't come back.
Mhm.
And this is something a lot of people don't understand is um, it is great to buy expensive card. But what the point to buy expensive card if you can't afford it?
Exactly.
I see many people doing those mistakes, like buying expensive things they can't afford. Buy, for example, doing something simple like buy a car, Lamborghini, Porsche, whatever it is. Great. I mean, it is amazing. People will see you in the street and it's like, oh wow, this man has a Porsche, Lamborghini, or GTR, whatever it is. But again, this car requires specific treatment. Do you have what it takes to treat the car well?
Mhm.
Maybe the first month, maybe the first 6 months. But at the long, will you do it, or will you stop because well you don't have what it takes to keep it?
Right.
It is a huge difference between someone who's buying it because he can afford it basically, and someone who buys just because he wants to show off. Say, I can buy this too.
Mhm.
The same for Pokemon cards. Same for anything. It is Pokemon, car, sports, baseball, you name it. It's the same thing. Same thing apply, and people don't understand that. And I think is a question of mentality,
Mhm.
how you grew up, how your parents thought how you were cheat to handle money. And I think is one of the reasons why we're in this specific situation.
Yeah, I agree. That is a big the social
Because a lot,
status.
yes,
Mhm. Yeah.
because right now, a lot of people think having Pokemon cards is valuing your social status.
Yeah.
It wasn't always the case.
It was a negative before.
No,
It was the
Yeah.
opposite.
Oh man.
It
Oh
was
man.
it was a negative before. You could make fun of her doing that.
Like, oh man. Like I'm in my grandma bunker. Like people will say, but no, really, 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 it was really negative. People don't really didn't really like it.
Mhm.
Your parents, like, I mean, even your friends.
Yeah,
But now is it's just, oh, uh, uh Charizard cards, things like that. Like, yeah, okay, yeah, I know about those things way before you were born.
yeah,
So I think people need to come back to initial things and re um, adjust their needs and their priorities.
yeah.
And at that moment, market will be, well, self-sustained and go back to normal. What is normal? I don't know what it is.
Mhm.
It is higher than what we knew. Is it under what we knew? I can't tell you.
We'll know when it happens, because yeah,
Yes.
and yeah, I mean that's the thing that I try to talk about a lot, is and just be like completely honest with my thoughts and what I'm going through each day when I post videos,
Mhm.
because I mean, since the beginning, social media has how often do you see people post negative things on social media? One out of like a million posts. All you see is
Exactly.
the positive things. All you see is the bright light. You don't see
Hmm.
what's going on behind the scenes. You just see a snippet
Yeah,
of a
exactly.
moment. You see a person smiling for 1 second of the day when they could be sad the rest of the day,
Exactly.
right? So
Exactly.
yeah, that's just one big thing that, yeah, that's a whole nother huge. There's so many factors causing causing what's happening right now,
There is so many
and
factors. Like,
it will balance
people
out
don't.
eventually, right? It will. It has to. That's how the world works.
It has to.
So
Like, there is the whole world has a certain um you know equilibrium to have. you
mhm,
know so at a certain point, something will go off.
mhm,
So it is flippers, or it is the price, whatever it is, something has to move to sustain something else. Is naturally impossible.
mhm,
That's the first thing. And what I see is, like, so when that happened, what think people would think, like, there is this whole scene, like you say, people see. Okay, you have the scene, but all the behind the scene is not always great. Like, I remember when I was working in a regular store. So in Japan, so when I with my friend we started to do the store together. At the same time, I was working in another place, and at the same time, I was teaching English. I had three jobs to sustain myself,
mhm,
like, because life was hard. Like, I have bills to pay every single day. Of course, when people hear, like, oh yeah, I sold the card for $10,000, it's one card of how many? Okay, it's not like I'm selling $10,000 cards every single day.
right.
But every single month, I have expenses, like my apartment. I have to pay my apartment. It costs a lot of money. I have to pay electricity, gas, water, all those things. Like train. If I have to move or if I have to take the airplane, so it costs also money.
Mhm.
Every single month, I have a certain expenses. I have to eat too. Like, really, and people don't see that.
Mhm.
And when you see, after all those expenses every single month, like, having sometimes a 10,000 or even a $20,000 sale doesn't change much.
Right.
You may have maybe a little room in 1 month or two, but that's it.
Right.
All the rest, you are not sure to pay all your bills every single month. And we're living in a certain moment where you're like, I can just chill and sell the cards. I don't care. And like, hey,
Yep.
life is good. Yeah, how you doing? I'm doing good too. Yeah, yeah, life is good. Yeah.
It's a great time. I can't complain. It is a great time.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, like, for when I talk with a couple friends, when they tell me what they did recently, I'm like, whoa, things are good. He was like, yeah, things are good, but like, I don't know, I'm scared. Like a lot of people telling me like they're happy that they're selling the cards for more than they thought or more they will ever think of. But at the same time, they are scared. Like like hell. Like they
Yeah,
they don't know where the future is going.
right. And
And this is something I don't know
I,
how to deal
it,
with it. I don't know
you
what
know,
to tell
I think a lot of that fear, I mean, for me is like I don't think I think there's going to be a time because of where this is headed that I can't do it anymore financially, and
exactly.
I won't be able to enjoy it. And yeah, it's great right now. I say that my fear is in the market and where it's going to go, but I think the fear is truly not knowing where I'm going to be when this is all done. Will I still
Hmm.
want to do this? Because this huge swing of emotions, right, is
Hmm.
in the market is very taxing on your mind, on your body, like on everything. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
when
yeah,
it's
yeah.
over and all that change comes, where are you going to be? Are you going to still be in it? In what capacity are you going to be doing it? You know, where at life will I be? And I'm scared for that because I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I enjoy this right now. It's fantastic. But when this all changes and becomes normal again, will it be able to sustain the lifestyle that I enjoy living? Do I have to go back to a 9 to 5 job? What's going to happen? That's what I'm scared of. Well, yeah. So, and I think that's what a
I'll
lot of
give it.
people are.
Yeah, giving you a good example of one of my friends, Japanese guy, really nice guy, two kids, wife, has 9 to 5, a 9 to 5 job, regular salary man in Japan. So he was one of the first people I really became friends with in the Japanese Pokemon community, you know. And like the first time we met, actually, he talked to me, and it was really funny because I was the only foreigner in 2014 in a Japanese event. I was the only foreigner, so like it's not hard to spot me. And he I was the only shiny, so it was easy. So he basically came to me and talked to me. He's like, "Hey, where you come from? You looking for something?" I was like, "No, I didn't know there was an event." And it is amazing to see how people enjoying Pokemon here in Japan, actually. And we talked for like 30 minutes, and he's like, "Oh, you know what? There is a Arita event coming up, like Arita signature." I was like, "What? Really? No way!" It's like, what to do?" He's like, "Yeah, you need a ticket." It's like, "Where can I get the tickets?" Like, "No, they don't give any ticket anymore." I was like, "Oh, damn. Well, next time." And you know what this guy did? He gave me one of his ticket. He has one ticket for himself and one of for his son. He gave me his ticket so I can attend to the signature event. This is really something. I didn't have anything with me. I didn't have any cards, nothing. And I remember the illustration art book. I had he had one, and he gave me his book. He's like, "I give you this illustration art book.
Mm,
Use it." You know, I was like, wow, like, and I never had something like that before.
yeah.
So he gave me his art book. He's like, "I gave you for free. I got the signature inside." And this same person, so recently, couple weeks ago, we were talking, and he's like, "What do you think about the prices and everything?" I was like, "I don't know what to think. Like every single day when I see the prices, is like a new reality for me. Like maybe we changed timeline and I didn't realize it. And we were talking about that, but like he was really afraid that he can't continue to afford Pokemon cards. Really, he was really concerned because the price are rising so fast
Hmm.
that he doesn't know what to do. And I asked him, like, "What do you want to do? Like, what is your feeling? What your heart telling you to do?" He's like, "Maybe I will buy a couple cards, but that's it. Like, I don't feel anything anymore. Like, because of those big prices,
Hmm.
like there won't be any future for me collecting. There won't be like if I want the old cards, if I don't have like a 300,000 or 500,000, I have a million, I can buy a card.
Right.
It's like this is not what I signed for.
Hmm.
Okay, so I was like, okay, well, what do you want to do? He's like, I don't know what I want to do. And he's like, you know what? I will start to sell a couple of cards I don't really need, and have a little bit of cash, to spend time with my family and blah blah blah. I was like,
Hmm.
okay, why not? And we talk like hours and hours. Like, long story short, at the end, he's like, you know what? I want to sell all these cards.
Hmm.
And actually, like most of the cards he's selling, they are like modern, really modern cards, and the growth are poof. Like one of the cards he wants to sell was the 20th anniversary Team Rocket case,
Oh yeah.
the full case with both card graded. I was like, you sure you want to sell it? He's like, you know what? I bought it for $100 when it came out. It was pre-order. He bought it, and seeing the value this much just hurt him, so he doesn't want to have it anymore.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I bought it because I like the cards, but like when I see those huge value, like I don't want those expensive things in my house. Like it can be like even if someone knew that he has cards. Like recently, also like people there was many theft
Hmm.
in YouTubers' house in Japan.
Oh
Like
wow.
a couple YouTubers, yeah. A couple YouTubers were robbed because they always showcase their cars and everything,
Hmm.
and a couple people realized where they knew the neighborhood where they lived,
Hmm.
so they went there and just stole cars like and everything. And he's like, I don't want that, so I want to sell it.
Hmm.
And it is sad and heartbreaking to see people like that live in the hobby because there is certain danger they could encounter for having expensive cars.
Yep. Yeah.
It is not just like having a great card, let's say really back in the day, before 2008, having really rare cards. It wasn't expensive, but the fact that you have those rare cards, you're like, you know how many cards out there? There's like, I don't know, maybe 50 of it,
Yeah.
like just realize, and you talk about with your friend, and it is funny, it is this joyful. It's like, yeah, I'm one of those few people in the world who has those cards. And for me and for him probably what it was that tr- trading and collecting card was having this feeling to belonging in a small group
Hmm.
of collectors, or having something really special, like there's you won't see it everywhere. But now it's not that case.
Right.
The fact that you have it, there's only two ways. You want to show it off on social media, or you don't want to show off. If you don't want to show off, nobody will never know. Because once you show off and someone will realize in which neighborhood you live,
Hmm.
like it can be a huge problem. Like even for me, I'm in France right now, but like my personal cards are everywhere in the world. Like I have cards in Japan, cards in France, cards in Togo, cards in the US. Like
Uh-huh. Yeah.
you know, because if something happened, I won't lose everything.
Right. Yeah. I've got cards in 5 different places. So yeah, it's a real shame. I mean, and that whole kind of that sentimental story too. I remember I was in Japan for the release of the the Scream promos, and I
Oh,
went to I
I
went to I
remember
I
this
went to
one.
the museum. I got the
Hmm.
Mimikyu. I got a couple of them.
Hmm.
And then I stood outside Pokemon centers asking people for the other promos because that's the only way I could have got them.
Hmm.
Because you got them
Hmm.
with buying, I think it was Shiny GX or something, the booster boxes.
Exactly, and you have to buy five five packs to get one promo.
Right. So people, well, no, I think so. Most people were getting like 2 booster boxes, which was the limit, and they would only get one set of
Yes,
promos. They wouldn't get multiple
yes,
sets. Right.
no,
Right.
no,
So I was
yes.
standing outside, Google Translate on my phone, finally came across some like Americans that were there for school or something. They sold me their cards. And as I was leaving, because I got my set, a Japanese guy came up to me and tapped me on the shoulder and said, you know, I saw you standing out here. You wanted these cards in Japanese. Of course, we couldn't really communicate. But he gave me his set of promos for free because he just wanted the other cards to play, right? He was a player. So
exactly.
I ended up having, I think I had the very first cards ever graded, the screen promos. I got a set of 10s. I still have those. I don't think I'll ever sell those because of that story behind it of, you know, that Japanese guy coming up to me and giving them to me for free, and being in Japan for that experience, for that event. Of course, the Pikachu came out later, but so I had to pick that one outside of it. But yeah, like the value of those has gone crazy in PSA 10s.
Oh man.
And yeah, it's crossed my mind to sell them, but I just can't. I can't, you know, because they're very, very special. So, and my cost on them is like almost zero. But it's hard, you know. Having expensive things with you is stressful. Again, seeing what you can do with that money, spending time with your family, going on a vacation or whatever it might be. There's a lot that Pokemon has been able to provide for people. So, yeah, I think this is a great title for this episode. Is going to be an unprecedented time. I think that's.
Oh yeah, it is. It will be
a great.
And we will remember in 5 and 10 years. Yeah, you remember the COVID situation? We'll be all laughing about it.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it, and I know I'll always be doing Pokemon for the rest of my life. I just don't know what level. That's the thing that I struggle with. But
yeah, that's the thing. Like I think I will continue myself too, even if I sell some cards of my collection. But at what level, I don't know. But I will, of course, still continue buying. It is single products and enjoy myself with my kids. And like, hey, you know, you remember when I was younger, I had this, and this. And look, let's open some cards.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well. So, June, I want to thank you, man, for your time today.
No, you're welcome.
Really nice getting to know you more. You know, we've talked for a while, but never at this level. So it's fun to get to know you better, and hopefully we can see each other soon at the next World or something, whenever that is.
Next World, next year. We hope next year, but
yeah,
not sure of anything now.
Perfect. Well,
I really appreciate the competition.
Yeah, it was nice. And if there's anything that I can do, man, let me know. I'll keep looking for the next deal that you can help me out with.
Well, after the video, I will send you a message.
Great. Well, thank you, and have a great rest of your week.
Thank you. Have a good day.